one who started that.
That's right. Yeah.
And how did you came up with this idea? All of a sudden you woke up in the morning and
No, I was born from a poor family.
mm-hmm.
We, we didn't live like this, eating
Yeah.
steaks and so
Yeah.
on. And I was just lucky, I guess. I was ambitious, worked. If there's 7 days in a week, I worked
Mm.
7 days. And what happens, you're a workaholic, and your family grows up, and you don't know it.
Mm.
And when it's time to enjoy them, they're gone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a sad part of it. So I'm fortunate enough that we have 14 great-grandchildren
Mm-hmm.
now, so I can enjoy them.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like when Greg and them grows up, I was workaholic, and I worked 7 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I got where I was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just want to say. It got you where you now. So
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it got him like he took over the company.
That's right.
Yeah.
Him and Sean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I give them everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So how long you were working there?
Oh, well, I retired at 70, so
Okay.
I went to work at 14 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I didn't
So
finish high school.
Your father was already.
No, my father was a fisherman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just a poor fisherman. Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
was his name?
Mervyn.
Mervyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just a. Daddy was just a. He was just a. You know, it's a different generation. Then, when I went in the lobster business, if I made a deal, it was a handshake,
Yeah.
and that is good as gold. But this generation today is a lawyer and a contract. You know what I mean?
Right. But
Yeah.
how did you get all these contracts, like all these people involved?
How did you
Like-
get started?
Well, I started.
A couple boats?
Yeah, I started. I was a workaholic, Patrick, and I was aggressive, and when I made a deal, I lived up to it with the banks and the finance companies. So the word spread that his word is good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, yeah.
if I borrowed money from the bank and could not pay them that when, I would walk all the way to the bank to tell them I couldn't pay them till tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people wouldn't do that. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember one gentleman, the lobster season was open and I needed money, and the bank turned me down, and I went to Halifax to this gentleman, the boss,
Mm-hmm.
and I went in and they started shooting me down. Can't do it. And the big boss said, listen, if he's got up this morning and drove 200 miles to sell his idea, you give him the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was
Okay.
some of it. Yeah. So I've been blessed. I've been blessed. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, when I was 50 years old, we decided to buy a home in Florida, and then I started golfing. But I had some good men back home then. See, I had did some field work.
Yeah.
So yours only, listen, when you see a man that's made good, he's had some good people around him, dear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can't do this. You can't do this on your own.
Yeah.
You've got to have, people's got to trust you, number one, and
Yeah.
you've got to have good people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's everybody gone?
Yeah, we're gonna have a coffee in like 2 minutes.
Oh, the generation has changed.
2 generations. Yeah.
Well, this generation is happy with a credit card and a beer. And my generation wasn't that way, dear.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's face it, this generation day couldn't exist without a credit card.
Yeah.
And those are some of the differences. When I got married, if you never had cash, you didn't get anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So am I talking out of turn here?
No, it's good.
Okay.
So And you always lived on the hog, or where did you grow up?
No, I had a fish. I established a plant in Woods Harbor,
Okay.
and this plant, I worked and prospered, and everybody, and I did well.
Okay.
And along come a guy from Vancouver,
Mhm.
other side of Canada, and said, "We like what you're doing. We like you, and we want to buy you."
Okay.
And I sold out, and that's where I got established.
I see.
That's yeah.
That
They
was
offered.
That was your starting money, kind of.
Yeah, they offered me. Nova Scotia had a reputation for workers, good people, Southern Nova Scotia, and they heard about me, and I sold in the plant, and they wanted me. They at that time were owned in Seattle, Washington, the other side of the United States, and they wanted me to go to Alaska. This boat, factory ship, went into Alaska and did 80 million pounds of salmon. And they wanted me to hit it up, and I refused it, yeah. So I come back. Yeah, I went down on an old freight on an airplane, yeah.
Oh, you went, okay.
Yeah, to Trinidad.
Yeah.
And I remember getting up in the morning, I put on a nice white shirt and a necktie, and it was August, hot. And I wasn't out 2 minutes, my armpits were all wet, you know. But still, I got along with them, the people.
Yeah.
They like me.
That was
yeah.
quite a stretch. Somebody
Yeah.
from around here going down there.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Let me tell you, this guy the bank recommended took me to his home in Trinidad on a hill. He was very wealthy. And I mean, his house, all the tile had been imported from Italy and everywhere. And he said, "We're going to give you a nice breakfast." And the breakfast was salt fish, which I detested, you know. And that's what I had. And those are some of the... I could write a book on some of this stuff, you know, over the years, yeah. They were nice people. So, like I said, I've been lucky, dear. Yeah, I've been very fortunate. There's only black mark in my life is when we lost our daughter.
Yeah. It was nothing.
It's things you don't forget, Patrick. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Joyce was going to get me coffee. What happened? Well, it's good talking to you. I'm sorry I blowed my mouth off. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I'm sitting
She asked me
here.
last
I
night,
wanted to
we were in
know.
bed
I
last
think
night, she said,
it's really
"We never
curious.
I'm just an old man that people happen to like,
and I love hearing those stories.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
I could tell a lot of them to you.
I'm here. You can
Yeah,
tell me all.
yeah. There's, you know, the like I said, Patrick. You know, living this long, I've had to have some experience with people, but I've been fortunate because I never ever sold a false goods. I just told it the way it is.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
trust me, good.
Yeah.
If you don't,
Yeah.
yeah,
Then yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
Yeah.
But the day it's a little different than when I grew up. Yeah. Yeah.
It is, and
Yeah.
this is the sad part of it.
Yeah.
I see like that you sometimes you need to.
Yeah. Your
really-
kids are going to see a different world than you've seen.
They will, yeah. It changes so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a different world than you and Patrick, and your kids are going to see a different world than than us. Yeah.
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 Well, I love talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I thought they were going to give us dessert, Patrick.
Had some dessert.
I mean,
Oh.
yeah,